This message goes out to the YouTube staffers that pulled my video a few weekends ago, reviewed said video, and then dealt with me on the appeals process. And I've got some constructive criticism for you because this was my first video I ever had pulled, and it was my first strike on my account. And you guys at YouTube had me scrambling around trying to figure out where I went wrong on my video. I actually had two videos of the same title or similar titles that one you pulled, one you didn't. And I was scrambling around trying to figure out why did you pull one and not both? What did I do right on one and not the other kind of deal? And I went back and I read your guidelines twice. I watched the backup copy of the video in question. Then I read your guidelines a third time for good measure. I even went back and read your email that you had sent me telling me you had pulled the video, and I couldn't make heads or tails of it. Now, with the email, just to specify on it, there was no information. It didn't list the charges. And I wish you guys at YouTube, when you do pull a video, you would list all the charges that caused my video to get pulled, or at least the initial charges, what caused it to be targeted. That would be nice, so at least I could try to formulate an argument in the appeals box and try to make it as airtight and laser focused as possible, because after I got finished reading the stuff and watching the backup copy of the video, I stared at the appeals box for a few minutes and I said, I don't even know where to start. I really don't. I feel like I'm having to defend myself against the entire community guidelines, and I don't know which one I broke or how many, or which ones I broke and how many. I have no idea. It doesn't specify. So I made the best argument I could, and I felt that it was too spread out and it was paper thin and weak at best. And I said, I hope I get a second or third attempt at this, because I just don't feel like I'm going to get it with this first appeal. I really don't. So now I want to move on to the decision. I'm actually thoroughly shocked and surprised I actually won the appeal. I didn't even know how fast you guys would get back to me with the decision, because, like I said, it's my first time through, virgin experience, if you will. And your email alluded to something about age restriction. Did I not have age restriction on that video? Because there were two videos that had similar titles. And I noticed you didn't pull both. You just pulled the one. If one had the age restriction on, the other one was supposed to. I knew that before I ever published the video. And I thought I had gone through it. I did go through there 2 or 3 times and look at all the videos before I published them. Went into the advanced settings, and I could have sworn I clicked for the age restriction to be on that particular video. Maybe I skipped over it and didn't know it. I have no real defense for it other than to say it wasn't deliberate, and I apologize for it. There's nothing there. I mean, I could have sworn if you'd bet me money as you were pulling my video, sir, Death Star 73, pay attention to us, look this way. Did you have age restriction on that video or not? I would have bet every dime I've got that I had it on. And I guess I would have lost if it wasn't. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's no defense. And but honestly, I wish you guys would have, when you pulled the video, you would have told me exactly what the charges were. And I'm not talking about you tell me now what they were on that video, but because I think your decision basically told me where I had made my mistake, and I was looking for where I broke the guidelines, not what I neglected to do. Matter of fact, when I was thinking about where did I go cross the line, that's all I was thinking about, crossing the line, and it turns out I've neglected to do something. So that was partially my fault there, but I didn't even know. I had no idea. I was scratching my head for 2 or 3 days trying to figure it all out, and I was like, I got nothing. But I think other YouTubers and content creators, and I've loosely based that on myself because I'm really not making great videos or doing this all the time kind of thing. But I think that they would agree with me that we need more information when our videos get pulled. I really do. I think they would back me on this. I don't want to put words in their mouth here, but I believe they would. Because if this is all the amount of information that you're giving, for me it's not enough. I feel like Johnny Five up in this beast. Input, Stephanie, more input, and I didn't have any. I do want to give you some more constructive criticism here. And while I haven't gone through this, just uploading videos, you might run across it, or I might run across it, and that is malicious flagging. So my question to you, YouTube, is how do you protect content creators that are getting maliciously flagged? If you, YouTube, and I don't know how many flags it takes for you to pull it, I don't know if it's 1 or 10, but if you pull a video and you don't see anything wrong with it, and I guess you guys would reinstate it and knock that strike off the person's account, the content creator that actually made the video, do you punish the malicious flaggers? Because it obviously looks like they were just targeting that person because they were either they're too sensitive. Somebody drops a foul word, and, oh, that's offensive, and then they, even though it's got age restriction on it, they still flag it because it has foul language, or it's a strong opinion that's not following the status quo. It's not politically correct, so they flag it for just because they don't either A, like the content creator, B, they don't like what they're saying, or C, they think that the content that this person is posting is somehow offensive, but it's not offensive to everybody, it's just offensive to certain individuals. That doesn't make it offensive to everybody, you know what I mean? So if it's not breaking your guidelines or whatever, then how do you protect the content creator from people maliciously flagging him and trying to shut down said content creator? Because I've seen a lot of YouTubers here who have complained about the malicious flagging that goes on. I haven't seen too many videos. It's definitely not up there on par with the copyright issue. And I've also not seen anybody make any videos about, YouTube needs to give us more information. If we get a video that's flagged, we need to know why it's being flagged, or what the charges are of the flag. We also need to know why, if the video gets pulled by you at YouTube, why did you pull it? My video didn't get a flag, but you guys at YouTube pulled it, and the video wasn't up very long. And you guys, it didn't pass the smell test with you at YouTube, and you pulled it, and I had nothing to go on. It'd be nice to get more information. It would also be nice to know that you are punishing people for, making up bogus charges or whatever against other YouTubers just because they don't like them or something. I can name names, but I'm not going to. But it'd be nice to know. It also might save you a few headaches with malicious flaggers. You get rid of them too. If you could hit them with a strike, as they, hey, you keep going, you only got 2 more strikes left, buddy. You keep doing these erroneous charges, you're gone too. You know what I mean? It'd be nice. At least it would, and I can't say that content creators would back me on that one, but it sounds better than not doing anything as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, that's just my own constructive criticism here. Peace out.